everywhere. In my face, neck, behind my ears. Ah, the hair. How does that look? Should I also start a fire? Let's start a fire. What's up everybody, Marty Morissette here and welcome back to the channel where I make sure that you are always ready for your next adventure. Today, I'm in my bug jacket inside of my bug shelter because it's full on bug season. I want to talk to you guys about how to manage bugs when you're out on your backcountry camping trips. Now, the thing that's important to know is that there are areas and places that bugs thrive a lot more than others, and sometimes just pitching your tent 100 yards away from where you decided to pitch it can make a huge difference. And some of the things that you need to know with this is I'm basically in the worst area right now you could ask for. It's sheltered from the wind, so there's no wind. The sun can't get in, so it's shady. I'm in the forest. It's sheltered. It's not that wet here, but if it was like marshy at the back, it would be even worse. And that's really what you want to avoid. And when you look at your maps and you look at where you're going to be camping, try to avoid swamp areas. Try to be where it's going to be a bit more exposed to the wind, the sun, and that will really help reduce just the amount of bug that'll be around. I'll show you. So here would probably be a terrible place to pitch your tent. It'd be infested with bugs as it is right now. But if you were just to go down a little below, I'll turn you around now. In this area here, if you were to pitch your tent in a much more exposed area like here, okay, where the wind can get to you a bit more and where the sun can come down on you, where there's not a whole lot of trees compared to up there, for example, you're gonna have just way less bugs right down here. All right, I'm back in the bug shelter now. I'll take this off. Whew. But understanding where bugs like to thrive is just not enough in high bug season. So let's look at different pieces of gear that I have and different techniques that I combine together to really help me get through those really buggy nights or those really buggy days out in the backcountry. All right, so the first line of defense that you have when you're out in the backcountry is really your clothes, what you're wearing. And there's a few things that you can do that'll really help you not attract bugs as much. So the clothes that you wear in the backcountry, I would highly recommend that you don't wash them with scented detergent. And even on your body, before you go out on backcountry camping trips, try not to wash yourself with heavily scented products or use deodorants that are heavily scented. This attracts bugs like crazy. Second, in the backcountry, even if it's the summertime, try to go for long sleeves and long pants. So here I have the Paramount pants, convertible pants from North Face, and I love these pants because of the material that they're made out of. They're quick dry. They help me break the wind as well. They're super comfortable, stretchy. They're everything you want, honestly, as a pair of pants for the backcountry. But more importantly, they're long pants, and even in the summertime, I'll be wearing them in hot days because the first thing that you can do is basically tuck your pant legs into your socks, and that'll really avoid all the bugs to kind of come and bite you around the ankles. Number two, you can tuck your shirt into your pants as well. That'll help quite a bit, kind of avoid any kind of bugs, mosquitoes, black flies, or anything like this crawl up. So now you're looking pretty cute. And ideally, I'd be wearing a long sleeve shirt as well. And the last thing that you want is a hat. During black fly season, and especially during black fly season, honestly, a Tilly hat, so a 360 rim hat like this is really the best way to go because for whatever reason, the bugs don't like to go as much underneath the rim. One of the things that drives people's nuts with bugs, and especially with black flies, is how they'll crawl into your ears, your nose, your eyes, and they'll bite you all around, you know, your hairline. And wearing a 360 hat like this will really be efficient at keeping the bugs from crawling and just kind of annoying you around the ears. And the last thing that you can do for your clothing, and that's a very important one, is lighter the better. This is somewhere I have to actually improve myself because a lot of my outdoor clothing are green or they're gray and they're more in the darker spectrum. But the most important thing that you need to keep in mind is that avoid the color black at all costs for your clothing. And there is a major difference between dark gray and black for black flies. I don't know why, but they are so attracted to the color black. So try to have as light colors as possible for your clothing. And one thing that I've added to my arsenal last year that I can't believe I'd never bought one before is a classic full-on bug jacket. This thing here has revolutionized, in my opinion, traveling in the backcountry. And by the way, guys, I'll leave the links of all the gear that I'm talking about today in the description below, just to let you know that these are affiliate links. If you use these links to purchase any of that gear, it'll support the channel because I'll make a small commission off of it, and it will not cost you any more. But the original bug jacket here is such a fantastic piece of attire that I've acquired last year that I can't believe I've never purchased before. This really allows you to travel through bug infested areas like there's nothing, because you're fully protected with this suit on. And honestly, especially for the really swampy portages that we go through canoe camping and portaging, this is the way to go. I cannot recommend it enough. Now, the next thing to talk about when it comes to bug management is the different kind of gear that you can use. A little bit like the bug jacket basically, but that you're not going to be wearing, that can really help you manage the bugs. And the one thing that I've talked to you guys about already last week is the Backpacker Thermacell, which is right here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to repeat myself. Go check out last week's video. This is a game changer for managing mosquitoes. And the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is a bug shelter like the one I'm sitting in right now. Now, this is going to obviously be a lot more geared towards canoe camping rather than backpacking, because for backpacking, this is gonna be like a 5, 6, 7 pound penalty weight. Really heavy to carry on your back all day long while you're backpacking. But when you're canoe camping, even though you have a lot of portages to do and long portages, I've carried this through 2,500 meter portage in Algonquin Park, and I've never regretted bringing this bug shelter with me, because when I really need it, this gives me a 10 by 10 actual bug-free area where I can just sit, talk with my friends, enjoy a really nice evening in the bug shelter, put a nice little ambiance light at the top, and it just really enhances the quality of your trip. So depending on your trip, you know, the bug shelter may be appropriate or may not be appropriate, but this is something that in the really heavy bug season that I often bring, and especially when I go out with the kids and I need to be able to give them just a little 10 by 10 where I can be sure that they're not going to be bitten by bugs. This is a great thing to bring, and I really recommend it. This is just a cheap one from Outbound that I got at Canadian Tire, but if you want a really good bug shelter that I wish I had purchased, it's the one from Eureka, the No Bug Zone bug shelter. And now the next thing that you can also use to really, you know, help ward off some of the bugs at your camp is to use a campfire, and more importantly, a Smokey campfire. So when you light your campfire, what you can do is you can go and just collect on the forest floor just a bunch of pine needles, pine cones, leaves, and basically smother your fire with it. Just throw it right on top of it, and you'll see all that smoke's gonna get created, and it's really gonna help kind of push the bugs away. What I typically do myself is, if I get to a campsite early in the day, I'll usually start a fire pretty fast, and if it's infested with bugs all day long, I'll just feed it with a bunch of pine needles and really kind of push the bugs away, and it does a pretty good job at it. Hey, I'm talking here. So the last line of defense that I have for you guys is basically chemicals. And I try my best not to use any kind of bug repellent, because ultimately you're putting this on your skin, and your skin is the largest organ of your body. It absorbs all that chemical. But sometimes, you know, there's nothing you can do. You just kind of have to use it. And the one that I really recommend for you guys in Canada is the Great Outdoor Lotion Bug Repellent. I've tried a lot of bug repellent in my life. This one in the cream form is by far the most efficient one. And I like buying one small little bottle like this that I'll clip on the outside of my bag with my whistle. And then what I do is I end up buying, I think it's at Costco, you can buy the bigger bottles, and then I'll just refill it. What's really neat about this is that it's got 30% DEET, and that's what I found actually works to keep all the bugs away. And this cream will keep mosquitoes, black flies, deer flies, they'll keep them all away. So I really enjoy this. For my American friends just south of me, you can't get this cream, but do keep in mind the 30% DEET. And really the key to managing bugs out in the backcountry is basically to combine all of these techniques together and try to figure out what's gonna work best for you. If you wanna keep pushing your limits, you wanna keep creating memories out in the backcountry, I've put together here a playlist of my favorite pro tips that I've taught you guys for the past year and a half now. So go check it out, and I will see you, as always, in the next video. Peace.